Did the recording start?
Yes.
You started the recording. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Rubella Goswami, the Director for the Plant Protection Division at USDA NIFA, and I would like to welcome you for our FY24 Technical Assistance webinar on plant protection-related programs in the AFRI Foundational and Applied Science RFA. Next slide, please. We'll begin with a little bit of meeting logistics. As you see here, this webinar will be recorded, so please ensure that your microphone is muted. If you have any issues with Zoom, you can reach out to the Zoom technical support number that is shown on the screen. We request that during the presentation, if you have questions, please type them into the Q&A box. We will either answer them in the chat box or live at the end of the webinar. The slides and recordings will also be available and will be posted on this website. Next slide, please. I'd like to share with you the non-discrimination statement. In accordance with federal civil rights law and U.S. Department of Agriculture civil rights regulations and policies, the USDA, its agencies, offices, and employees, and institutions participating in or administering USDA programs are prohibited from discriminating based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, age, marital status, family parental issues, income derived from a public assistance program, political beliefs, or reprisal or retaliation for prior civil rights activities in any program or activity conducted or funded by USDA. Remedies and complaint filing deadlines may vary by program or incident. This slide contains contact information for individuals with disabilities to request reasonable accommodations. Language access services will be provided to limited English proficient individuals upon request, and anyone wishing to file a complaint can utilize the phone number, fax number, or postal mailing address listed on this slide. So in today's webinar, we are going to cover the program areas in the Agriculture and Food Research Initiative, that is AFRI's Foundational and Applied Science RFA. We'll go over the RFA details, the proposal evaluation process, and the additional resources. Today, we are covering the priorities in the plant protection section of the Plant Health and Production and Plant Products priority areas. We will cover several programs that introduce you to the team responsible for each program and discuss specific information from the RFA. The plant protection programs specifically to be covered are pest and beneficial species, pollinator health, and ag microbiome. Additionally, we will also be covering certain cross-cutting programs to which several of the plant protection professionals apply. These include agricultural biosecurity, the CARE program, or critical agricultural research and extension, the data science for food and ag systems, and the climate hubs partnership program. Next slide. Yeah. To introduce the agency to those who are new, I'd like to start with mentioning that the National Institute for Food and Agriculture, NIFA in short, is the extramural funding arm of USDA. It is located within USDA's Research, Economics, and Education mission area, and it invests in and supports initiatives that ensure long-term viability of agriculture. As I mentioned right now, we invest in and support the long-term viability of agriculture. NIFA provides funding and leadership for programs that make groundbreaking discoveries in agriculture-related sciences and support technologies that can be put into practice. Next slide, please. This slide, we are talking about the wide swath of areas that are covered by NIFA programs. We are focusing on plants today, but NIFA funds projects that cover a very broad range of topic areas, everything from advanced technologies to animal science, business and economy, looking at food, nutrition, and human services, farming, ranching, essentially anything that is associated with agriculture and food production is probably addressed by one or more programs that are presented by NIFA. The topic areas, broadly speaking, are shown in this slide. Next slide, please. So as you are listening to the presentations by our national program leaders talking about the different programs that are there, it is important to remember that there are different project types and different grant types. So project types can incorporate research, education, and extension singly or could be integrated, or they may address 2 or more areas or even 3 areas jointly. Different types of grants are given out. There are standard grants that are directly targeting original scientific research, education, or extension, or a combination of these. Then there are conference grants that help support convene meetings that bring the scientists together. These are offered by certain programs. One thing to remember with the conference grants is they do require submission of a letter of intent significantly in advance of the conference. Then we also have coordination network projects that are funded by some of the programs we will talk about today. There are grants for new investigators. There is a category of grants that goes to new investigators and those who are at the beginning of their career and do not have an extensive publication record yet and have less than 5 years of postgraduate career track experience. Another thing to note that in this grant, they should not have received federal grants as a primary PI other than pre- and postdoctoral fellowship type grants. The other category that we have are called strengthening grants. And the strengthening grants are meant for enhancing the institutional capacity. And the goal here is to facilitate future funding in a particular project area. And only certain institutions are eligible for these strengthening grants. These institutions include our small and mid-sized or minority-serving degree granting institutions, or those that belong to EPSCoR states. And within the strengthening grant category, also there are different types of grants. There are seed grants, which can help you get preliminary data, or there are equipment grants that can help you buy large shared equipment. Then there are also sabbatical grants that can be used for professional development. The thing to note is as you are looking to submit to a program, in addition to paying attention to the specifics of the program, please look at the grant types that are available. Whenever needed, you can reach out to our national program leaders to see if you are a fit or not, and also do read the RFA thoroughly. With that, I will turn it over to our program leaders to talk about the different programs.
Hello, my name is Dr. Erica Kistner-Thomas. I'm one of the national program leaders on AFRI's Pest and Beneficial Species and Agricultural Production Systems. My co-lead for this program is Dr. Emmanuel Bia-Mukama, and our program specialists here are Jesse Onstrander and Aaron O'Reilly. Purpose of this program is to advance the knowledge of invasive or established plant pests and associated beneficial species, leading to innovative and biologically based strategies to manage pests. This includes, the pests here include invertebrates, plant pathogens and their vectors, nematodes as well as weeds, and beneficial species in this case are limited to biological control agents and microbes. All applications must address at least one of the following research priority areas: biotic and abiotic factors affecting the abundance and spread of agriculturally important plant pests, diseases, and beneficial species relevant to pest management, behavioral attributes of pests and beneficial species, including intra and interspecies interactions and/or communication systems relevant to pest management, factors that contribute to invasiveness, movement or dispersal dynamics of pest or beneficial species, including pests that vector plant diseases, mechanisms of pest resistance to pesticides or toxins in genetically modified plants, and the development of strategies to mitigate resistance, and use of indigenous traditional ecological knowledge in pest and disease control. And all of this information can be found in the RFA pages 19 through 21. Again, the program code is A1112, and we only are doing, the project types here only include research, single function, as well as integrated research and extension only. Grant types include standard, conference, and phase, and that's food and agricultural science enhancement grants. These include strengthening standard, new investigator, strengthening conference, seed, equipment, and sabbatical grants. And if you need more information on these grant types, please check AFRI's help pages on if you qualify for a strengthening eligible or phase grant. The application deadline for 2024 is September 19th, September 19th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as a caveat for conference grants, we do accept conference grants year-round, but they must be submitted a minimum of 95 days before your conference is set to begin. Grant duration can range anywhere from 36 to 60 months for all the types of grants of the standard variety. And then for seed grants, we allow up to 24 months, 12 months for sabbatical grants, and up to 60 months for conference grants. Maximum awards in this case allow for $750,000 for all of the grant types of the standard variety. And that includes indirect costs. And then for seed grants, we do allow up to $300,000 for these grants, which are shorter in duration than the standard grants. For conference and equipment grants, we do allow up to $50,000. Our contact information for the MPLs, Emmanuel and myself, are listed here. Michelle Fenyu-Fu was a lead NPL on this position, but she is currently acting chief and staff. Again, the application deadlines for the Pest and Beneficial Species program is September 19th, 5 p.m. Eastern Times. All applications must be submitted via grants.gov. This year, we expect to have around $7 million. The maximum awards I've already listed. Typically, we see about 100 to 120 applications per year, and this is a competitive program. Overall, our success rate has been around 10 to 15% for standard grants, and with seed grants, it's a little higher, around the 20 to 25% mark. Since Pest and Beneficial Species is a really broad program, we do like to mention that there are some things we do not cover here. For any pollinator-related applications, see Pollinator Health. For molecular mechanisms that mediate interactions of plants and their biotic partners, you're going to want to see the Plant Biotic Interactions program. And for anything involving microbiome function, we have a program in AFRI called the Agricultural Microbiomes. And then any application that where you're looking at animal health or pest management and animal health, or as well as integrated pest management, you're going to want to look into the animal health and production program area. And if you're looking more at IPM, you would want to look at the crop protection and pest management RFA. Thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing your applications.
Hi, I'm Chris Phillips, and I'm the co-lead for the Pollinator Health Research and Application A113 program area of priority. I co-lead this program with Dr. Erica Kistner-Thomas, and the lead program specialist is Logan Appenfeller. All of the information that I'm about to share can be found on pages 26 through 28 in the current RFA. The Pollinator Health Research and Application Program supports single-function projects with the goal of promoting healthy populations of animal pollinators in agricultural systems. Applications must address one or more of the following: factors that influence the abundance, diversity, and health of pollinators, function of the microbiome associated with pollinators and their role in promoting healthy populations, the development and evaluation of innovative tools and management practices that would likely be adopted by stakeholders to ensure healthy pollinators, and the development, implementation, and evaluation of management practices of other crop pests, diseases that also ensure the protection of pollinators and other beneficial species. This program area priority funds project types, supports single function research, education, and extension projects, as well as integrated projects that are research and extension only. The program area priority funds conference grants, standard grants, and food and agriculture science enhancement grants, or what we call FASE. The application deadline this year is Thursday, August 22nd at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. A note on conference grants: applications are accepted year-round, but there are deadlines in terms of the requirements regarding when they have to be submitted in reference to the start of the conference. Grant duration for standard grants, including strengthening and new investigator standard, is 36 to 60 months. All seed grants are up to 24 months. 12 months for sabbatical grants, and up to 60 months for conference grants. The maximum award amount for standard grants, including strengthening and new investigator, is $750,000. It's $300,000 for all seed grants, and up to $50,000 for conference and equipment grants. Again, the application deadline for this year is August 22nd, and we typically receive between 40 and 50 applications each year, and our funding rate is usually around 15%. And now I will hand it off to the next program. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Biamkama. I'm a national program leader in the Plant Systems Plant Protection Division, and together with my colleague, Dr. Sandeep Kumar, we are the leaders of the Agricultural Microbiomes in Plant Systems and Natural Resources program. And Karina Olin, who goes by Terry, is the program specialist. Here we provide information about this funding opportunity that can also be found on pages 87 to 89 in the Agricultural and Food Research Initiative Competitive Grants, Foundational and Applied Science Program. So the purpose of the Agricultural Microbiomes in Plant Systems and Natural Resources is to explore the multipartite interactions among the hosts, the environment, and the microbiome in order to improve and sustain agricultural productivity and quality in plant systems, associated natural resources, as well as human nutrition and health. The basis of this program, or the justification for this program, is that the better understanding of microbiomes will help reduce use of chemicals in food production, lead to the development of safer alternatives for the management of agriculturally important pests and diseases, and optimize nutrient utilization efficiency, and reduce environmental footprints and greenhouse gas emissions of agriculture and food systems. It is hoped that research supported by this program will help fill major knowledge gaps in characterizing agricultural microbiomes and microbiome functions across agricultural production systems and natural resources. So applications to 1402 must address one or more of the following priorities. So priority A, to characterize molecular mechanisms and signal exchange involved in microbiome assembly and interactions in various environments or physiological states such as stress, diseases, or growth stages. Another priority, to functionally characterize microbiomes and microbiome metabolites in conferring specific host phenotypes, optimization of the environmental processes, and or host microbiome interactions. The other priority is to define microbiological or genetic elements that shape functional diversity, virulence, and resistance to sanitation and or antimicrobial treatment or foodborne pathogens associated with plant foods with regard to mitigation. Please note that projects focusing on microbiomes associated with livestock or aquaculture, food fish, should be submitted to the most relevant program area priority within the animal health and production and animal products program that also is found in the same RFA. So for project and grant types, only research project types are accepted in this program. And for grant types, these include standard grants, conference grants, and phase grants only. The funding levels are as follows. For standard grants, strengthening standard grants, new investigator grants, these are funded up to $850,000, and this can be up to 5 years. The seed grants are funded at $300,000, and this lasts up to 2 years. The conference and equipment grants are funded at $50,000 each. So here are a few application details. Again, this program area priority code is A1402. The application deadline for this program is October 3rd, 2024, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Please make sure you note the time zone. And we usually receive about 70 to 75 applications, and the success rate for this program is about 14% for the standard grants. If you have more questions or you need further information about this program, please contact us, myself or Dr. Kuma, using the email addresses on the screen. Thank you.
My name is Amr Fayyad, and I am a National Program Leader in the Plant Systems Protection Division. I co-lead the AFRI A1181 Agricultural Biosecurity Program with Dr. Michelle Colby, who is a National Program Leader in the Animal Systems Division. The program is also supported by Mr. Jesse Ostrander, a Program Specialist in the Plant Systems Protection Division. The A1181 Agricultural Biosecurity Program Area Priority focuses on increasing our national capacity to prevent, rapidly detect, and respond to biological threats to the U.S. agriculture and food supply. Supported activities will be aimed at increasing agricultural biosecurity at the regional and national levels and across the public and private sectors. The program addresses the vulnerabilities of our nation's food and agriculture systems that require a concerted effort, sustained investment, and a coordinated strategy that protects the U.S. food and agriculture system against threats from pests, diseases, contaminants, and disasters. The A1181 Agricultural Biosecurity Program supports two areas: agricultural biosecurity projects and agricultural biosecurity coordination network. Agricultural biosecurity projects are 3 to 5 year projects and must address one or more of the following: detection, diagnostics, surveillance, and or forecasting of transboundary, emerging, or re-emerging pests and diseases associated with animal production systems and or transboundary, emerging, re-emerging, or invasive diseases, insects, and weeds associated with plant production systems. Non-traditional detection methodologies, such as syndromic surveillance, predictive analysis of satellite imagery, will also be considered. Agricultural biosecurity projects also support rapid response to and recovery from pests and diseases that pose large-scale biosecurity threats to plant and animal production, including existing and imminent threats to the U.S. agricultural production and food supply systems. Agricultural Biosecurity Coordination Network are 3 to 5 year projects and must include a work plan that addresses all of the following: engagement and integration, including new and existing agricultural biosecurity projects, programs, and networks. Coordinate an annual agricultural biosecurity symposium and formalize coordination activities for the broader agricultural biosecurity community. And facilitate effective communication among these diverse groups, establish common mechanisms for joint prioritization of common research agendas. The program code is A1181. Project types accepted in this program are research, extension, and integrated projects. Integrated projects mean research, extension, and/or education. The program also accepts conference grants, and a letter of intent must be submitted a minimum of 195 days before the conference begins. Grant durations are 36 to 60 months for standard grants, strengthening grants, and new investigator standard grants, up to 24 months for all seed grants, up to 12 months for sabbatical grants, and up to 60 months for conference grants. If you wish to inquire for additional information on this program, my contacts are listed, as well as Dr. Colby's contacts, including our emails and phone numbers. The application submission deadline is 5 p.m. Eastern Time, August 8th, 2024, and applications must be submitted through grants.gov. Maximum funding per award is $50,000 for conference grants, $300,000 for seed grants, $650,000 for standard single function, $800,000 for with specific partnerships. It is $1 million for integrated projects, $1,150,000 with specific partnerships, $1 million for agricultural biosecurity coordination network, $1,150,000 with specific partnerships. On average, the program receives about 30 to 38 applications per year, and the success rate is about 30%. Thank you.
Hello again. Jim Dobrovolsky here, National Program Leader for Water and Natural Resources in the Environmental Systems Division of the Institute for Bioenergy, Climate, and Environment. And I am going to talk about the Critical Agriculture Research and Extension, or CARE program, a cross-cutting program across AFRI. It is A1701. The CARE staff consists of 2 national program leaders that co-lead the program, myself and Dr. Vijay Nandula from the Institute of Food Production and Sustainability, and Sierra Caceres, who is our program specialist also from the Institute of Food Production and Sustainability. And I'm going to begin with a program overview to the CARE program, remembering that CARE was established originally by our former director, Dr. Sunny Ramaswamy, and is focused on projects that have already completed most of their research and are ready to be transferred or delivered to their stakeholders. So the why? Well, this program area addresses critical challenges and opportunities that research and extension together can address to improve our nation's agricultural and food systems. Despite prior investments in basic and applied research, critical problems continue to impede the efficient production of agriculturally important plants and animals for producing safe and nutritious foods and to meet environmental challenges for agriculture. These problems may be local, regional, or national, and may call for work focused on one or more scientific disciplines. However, all need immediate attention to meet producer and consumer needs. Finding and implementing solutions to these critical problems requires partnership and close coordination among researchers, extension experts, and practitioners in food and agricultural enterprises. The how. Funded projects are expected to produce results that lead to practices, tools, and technologies that are rapidly adopted by end users. Projects based on indigenous traditional ecological knowledge are appropriate for this program area priority. This program area priority is designed to support integrated activities based on rigorous research combined with effective extension and involvement of stakeholders to develop and rapidly apply new knowledge or practices, resulting in improved well-being of the people, communities, plants, and animals involved in and affected by agriculture and food production systems. The projects should focus on a clear, time-sensitive, stakeholder-identified need or problem for agriculture. They should explain the magnitude of the problem and the rationale for targeting it, describe a meaningful approach for blending research and extension expertise and other outreach and implementation approaches throughout the project to address principal objectives. The project should provide evidence that it is aligned to the why and how listed in the previous slides. You should state expected solutions or improvements and how these will be assessed and measured, and address the potential cost of proposed solutions and describe how it could be scaled to be sustainable in the short term and long term, and explain how the project will strengthen agricultural and food production systems and how results will be adopted or applied at a local, regional, or national level. So what type of project and grant types are available for CARE? Well, the grant types are either standard or strengthening. The standard grants, the only standard grants that are available are integrated, and it's only integrated across research and extension. As far as strengthening goes, there are strengthening standard grant types and also new investigator project types. So please see the RFA for the details, and the page is in the yellow box above. The application details include that the RFA is available online at this link that is on this slide. And the application deadline for CARE is Thursday, September 12, 2024 at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And you must submit the proposal through grants.gov. The total funding available in fiscal year 2024, about $5 million. The program code, remember, is A1701, and the maximum funding per award is $300,000. If you have additional questions, please feel free to send us an email or give us a call. Our contact information is on this slide, and thank you so much for your interest.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Gami Shrestha. I'm the lead national program leader for A1541, which is a cross-cutting program for data science, for food and agricultural systems, abbreviated as DSFAS. My fellow co-lead national program leaders are Dr. Rachel Semen-Varner, Dr. Steve Thompson, Dr. Kelly Garbach. And the lead program specialist for this program is Rebecca Hansen. Next slide, please. For DSFAS A1541, the major project types are research and integrated, which means research, education, and or extension. The grant types that we fund are standard, conference, and strengthening. Next, please. This program area priority focuses on the intersections between data science or artificial intelligence and agricultural areas in order to enable systems and communities to effectively utilize data, improve resource management, and integrate new technologies and approaches to advance U.S. food and agricultural enterprises. We welcome university-based research as well as public and private partnerships. The applications for research and integrated research projects must address one of the 6 AFRI priority areas. We particularly welcome proposals in the following sectors: climate smart agriculture and forestry, food and nutrition security, environmental sustainability, economic revitalization, and justice. Projects that focus on the intersections between one or more of these areas are also welcome. The most competitive proposals will be equally well-grounded in agricultural and food sciences and in data science. The competitive proposals will clearly communicate the relevance and the novelty of the proposed research in both those areas. Next slide, please. The application deadline for A1541 DSFAS is 5 p.m. Eastern Time, November 14, 2024. All applications must be submitted through grants.gov, as my colleagues mentioned earlier, and the program code is A1541. The total anticipated funding for FY 2024 is approximately 7.5 million. The maximum funding per award is are as follows. It's 650,000 for regular projects, 800,000 with specific partnerships, and these are the maximum funding, including indirect costs. For coordinated innovation network projects, it's about, I would say 1 million, and for specific partnerships, slightly more than that. For coordinated innovation networks, climate food supply modeling projects, it's about 3 million, and then slightly more than that for specific partnership steps. Please refer to the RFA for details. 300,000 for all seed grants and 50,000 for conference and equipment grants. The page number with the details in the RFA is listed on the top right, and it's page 93.
Hello, my name is Erica Tixner-Thomas. I'm one of the national program leaders on AFRI's Extension, Education, and USDA Climate Hub's Partnership Program, A1721. This program is led by many NPLs, but the lead NPL for this program is Amy Ganguly. Any information that I discussed today on this program can be found in the request for applications pages 100 through 103. This cross-cutting program will support projects that provide effective, translatable, and scalable approaches that address climate change through regional partnerships, including the USDA Climate Hub and the extension, i.e. the Cooperative Extension Service. These projects should be interdisciplinary and integrate research, education, and extension components. Specifically, these projects are to use highly disciplinary approaches and human-centered stakeholder-informed program designs and work towards one or more of the following long-term socio-economic impacts: measurement and monitoring and mitigation of agricultural greenhouse gases, climate-smart agriculture and forestry, a diverse workforce that can effectively communicate about climate change with a variety of stakeholders and incorporate climate considerations into managing working lands, equitable and just opportunities to address disproportionate burdens of natural resources and extraction, indigenous crops and livestock, including aquacultured species, while ensuring more sustainable production in terms of soil health, nutrient density, and crop resiliency to climate variabilities. And finally, nutrition-sensitive climate smart production practices that increase returns on investments to farmers and producers and mitigate economic costs and food waste, particularly among underserved farmers. Project types that we fund in this program are extension only and integrative, research and extension, or extension and education projects only for standard, strengthening standard, and new investigator standard grants. Grant types also include phase eligible institutions. The deadline is September 5th, 2024. Duration for these projects are 36 to 60 months. And there are many program contacts for this, but really we want all applicants to address any questions concerning this program to the climate partnerships at USDA.gov. To summarize, the program code here is A1721. The total funding for this program expected for 2024 is about $6 million, with a maximum award of $1 million per standard grant. We typically get 20 applications per year with a success rate of 20 to 30%. The deadline is again September 5th, 2024, and all applications must be submitted via grants.gov. Thank you very much for your time. We do look forward to receiving your application.
Eligibility information. Applicants for AFRI must meet all the requirements discussed in this RFA. Failure to meet the eligibility criteria by the application deadline may result in exclusion from consideration or preclude NIFA from making an award. For those new to federal financial assistance, NIFA's grants overview provides highly recommended information about grants and other resources to help understand the federal awards process. So here goes the list. For research, education, and extension projects, eligible applicants are State Agricultural Experiment Station, colleges and universities, university research foundations, other research institutions and organizations, federal agencies, national laboratories, private organizations or corporations, individuals who are U.S. citizens, nationals, or permanent residents, and any group consisting of 2 or more entities identified above. And for integrated projects, colleges and universities, 1994 land-grant institutions, and Hispanic-serving agricultural colleges and universities. Now let's move on to the details and required documents. NIFA only accepts electronic submission. Application documents must be in PDF formats. Grants.gov may allow other formats, but NIFA does not. Also, do not use third-party PDF builders. NIFA grant application guide link is provided here, including other grant support lines and emails. Please include reference numbers available to you and meaningful title or contents to help effectively identify your issues. This will help speed up the process of customer support. The application should be checked for the following required items, which must include project summary or abstract, project narrative, bibliography and references cited, project model and management plan for integrated projects, if applicable, data management plan, facilities and other resources, curriculum vitae or biosketch, conflict of interest, current and pending support, budget and budget justification, felony and tax certification form if applicable. This is not an exhaustive list of required items. It only serves to highlight items that may be overlooked. The three critical required documents are project summary or abstract, project narrative, and bibliography and references cited. We recommend that you conduct an administrative review of the application before submission of it via grants.gov to ensure that it complies with all preparation instructions. An application checklist is included in Part 7 of the NIFA grants.gov application guide to assist with this review. Here are the requirements. For standard, the investigator standard, coordinated agricultural project or CAP, conference, strengthening standard, strengthening CAP, and strengthening conference grant applications. Project narrative has 18-page limit and will be strictly enforced. Line spacing should not exceed 6 lines of text per vertical inch, including all figures and tables. 12-point Times New Roman font includes text, figures, and tables may be single-spaced. For sabbatical, equipment, and seed grant applications, project narrative section may not exceed a total of 7 pages. Applications exceeding the page limitation will be returned without review. Here's how to find funded proposals from previous years. You can go to NIFA's data gateway with link provided here. Use advanced search and plug in the program code. Other fields are available as well to filter or specify the metrics that are important to you, from various reference numbers to award years and amounts. At the bottom is document versus tabular formats, which is this one and this one. The better way to use is tabular, and here's a sample of that generated report based on these filters. Thank you. My name is Terry Allen. I am a program specialist at the Institute of Food Production and Sustainability, Division of Plant Systems Protection. My programs are crop protection and pest management, or CPPM, and the ag microbiomes, or A1402.
This is Amr Fayyad again, and in the next couple minutes, I will describe to you the proposal evaluation process. Next slide. So proposals are assigned for review to at least 3 reviewers with expertise in the proposed topic. Reviewers will produce individual reviews of each proposal, evaluating the strengths and weaknesses. These written reviews are used to begin panel discussions with other reviewers serving on the peer review panel during panel meeting. Through these discussions, peer review panelists come to a consensus on the final rating and ranking of proposals. Next slide. Regarding the evaluation criteria used in the evaluation of the proposals, detailed evaluation criteria for each project type, grant type, and centers of excellence are found in the AFRI review criteria PDF and the attachment list on the AFRI RFA resources page. And my colleagues will be adding the link to that in the chat for you. So the evaluation criteria include the scientific merit of the application for research, qualifications of project personnel, adequacy of facilities and project management, and project relevance, and the criteria for Center of Excellence if such a designation is requested by the proposal. Next slide. So on average, competitive programs at NIFA take about 3 to 5 months from the proposal due date to an award being made to an institution. So applicants typically have a minimum of 1 to 2 months time to submit an application when an RFA is published. And it takes NIFA about 2 to 3 months to complete the peer review of the applications and to complete the proposal funding notifications. And it takes an additional 1 to 2 months for awards to be finalized. So again, on average, it takes about 3 to 5 months from proposal due date to an award being made to an institution. We will keep you updated as much as possible, and we appreciate your patience through the review process. And with this, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Erica, to cover additional information. Erica?
Thanks, Amr. So for events, upcoming events, including webinars, meetings, and upcoming deadlines, we would ask you to go to NIFA USDA's events page. And also our very helpful request for applications release calendar. Both of these links are here, and you'll get a copy of these when you get it when we send out the PDF of this webinar. Other resources include our links for funding opportunities. We also have a competitive grants flowchart to help you understand what type of grant you might be eligible for and programs as well. Again, we have the NIFA grant resources page, which includes various webinar recordings. We have NISA's policy guide. We also have a web page here just to help you with calculating your indirect costs. And we also have a guide for preparation and submissions of applications specific to NIFA. And that's basically a sample document. For information on awarded grants, that was the CRIS, which Terry already went over. And then the AFRI New Investigator Frequently Asked Question page is very handy as it is a little confusing as to who qualifies as a new investigator, but this Frequently Asked Question page will help clarify that for you. Finally, we would like you all to consider being a NIFA panelist. We are always in need of a diverse group of panelists. So please fill out this form in this link here and get us to get yourself in our system. We also encourage folks that if there's a specific program that you wish to learn more about or potentially apply for in the future, but you're not ready to apply yet and you want to learn more information, be a panelist for that program and contact the MPL managing that program. If you want to, for example, for my program, Pollinator Health, you would contact Chris Phillips or myself, and then we would be much more likely to have you on the panel in the future. And with that, we'll leave you our information to all of the national program leaders that are involved in the Institute of Food Production and Sustainability. Here's our contact information. We also have information for our program specialists as well as the cross-cutting national program leaders from our other programs that we described today. And with that, we're going to open up the Q&A and answer any questions. And I believe Logan and Terry are already answering some in the chat.
So Erica, we do have a question about the data science program. Someone requested if Dr. Shrestha could talk about what is meant when they reference systems and communities. I don't know if you're able to read that question in its entirety or if you want me to say all of it. But if anyone could speak on that.
Yeah, I cannot see the question. Could you read it, please?
Okay, sure. So for the data science program, could Dr. Shrestha talk about what is meant by systems and communities? For example, does the research and plant breeding community fall within this definition? or is the intent that systems and communities refer to growers or the general public? And I'll also paste it in the chat.
Thank you for the question. I think, let me see the full question, and thanks for pasting it here, Jesse. Or is intent that system refer to growers? I think all of those would qualify. I would encourage you to consider systems as you know, you could say, I think communities, growers, or general public, or users, or farmers. I think all of those would qualify for those. Thank you for the question.
Oh, go ahead, Manuel.
Dr. Howe has his hand raised. Could you go ahead and ask your question? You should be able to unmute, or if you're not able to speak, then you can type your question in the question answer chat.
In the meantime, there's some useful questions here that would be great for the general audience that that have been answered in the chat, but I'm going to go over some of them. For instance, there was a question concerning equipment grants, which are many of these AFRI programs do allow equipment grants, but the question was, is that only available to phase or strengthening eligible institutions? And yes, the equipment grants are only available to strengthening eligible institutions. So if you're not one of those, you do not qualify to apply for an equipment grant at this time.
Thank you. This is the person who asked the data science question. Can you guys hear me? Wonderful. Yep. Yeah, so I guess what I was really trying to understand is if a project is focused on really applying data science to plant science research and enabling, for example, high throughput phenotyping, breeding efforts. That is the target audience for that is really the research community. So does that fall within that sort of systems and communities definition, or do you really have to have research that ultimately reaches that general public stakeholder within the lifetime of the grant?
I think what you're mentioning could be considered. I would encourage you to I'll put this in the Q&A or the chat if you can see this. Check out our specific webpage for this DSFAS program, and also please check the previously funded projects. And I will also add my contact information in the chat if you'd like to schedule a one-on-one with me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have a biosecurity program question. So even the question is, even though the program is closing today, I assume you're going to be busy, but when would be a good time to make a meeting with you and share abstract ideas for the following year?
Thank you for the question. I would say, you know, in the next maybe 3 weeks would probably be the earliest that my colleague Michelle Colby and I would be able to meet with you and discuss. As you said, you know, the submission deadline for A1181 is today 5 p.m. And I want to take this opportunity to also, you know, address a related question on the Joint NIFA-NSF Plant Biotic Interactions program. And so the question was if we had any webinars or presentation on that program. So we don't currently have any specific recording on it, but again, our advice is to always, you know, email us as national program leaders at NIFA or program directors at NSF, and send us a one-page abstract of your proposed project ideas. And this will help us, prepare for the meeting with you. Once we receive that, we will be happy to schedule a call with you and discuss your idea and discuss the fitness to the program. And many a times when we have a discussion with an applicant, we say, you know what, we think this proposed idea may fit another program, either within NIFA or other agencies as well. So again, we encourage you to contact us, and thank you for your questions. Back to you, Erica.
Thanks, Amr. There is another question here about the difference between standard and strengthening standard grants. So standard grants are anyone is eligible to apply for those grants, any institution, including private companies and various nonprofit organizations and federal organizations like ARS, the Agricultural Research Service. But strengthening are only for eligible institutions that meet the criteria for strengthening eligible. So that's basically small to mid-sized universities that have 17,500 students or less, those in EPSCoR states, which we update every year. The current list of EPSCoR states is listed on our AFRI phase or strengthening eligible webpage. And also minority serving institutions, those that have a 50% or higher enrollment of minority students that are not within the top 100 funded institutions. So you have to meet those criterias to be eligible for a strengthening grant. So I hope that clarifies things. But again, if you're not sure if you qualify, there is a website. So look up phase eligibility and you'll find out whether or not you can qualify for a strengthening eligible grant. I hope that helps.
There is a question on the maximum funding for seed grant. So all the seed grants are funded at $300,000 and they last up to 2 years. So again, the maximum funding for seed grant is $300,000. And you should also make sure you qualify for a seed grant if you're a new investigator or you're from phase, if you qualify for phase. So those are the two criteria you need to know if you qualify for seed grant.
And there's a question on the plant-biotic interactions A1171. So this joint NIFA-NSF program accepts application anytime. Most programs at NIFA have a specific deadline, but the PBI accepts it anytime, and applications are submitted through the NSF system.
Okay, I'm not seeing any open questions at the moment. What can you further explain what you mean by phase as regards to seeds? Right. So seed grants, which are those smaller grants that are for 2 years for $300,000, there's two types of people or institutions that comply for those. New investigators can apply, can now apply for seed grants. So it doesn't matter what institution you're at if you are qualify as an AFRI new investigator, but they're also available for people that are not new investigators that are at strengthening eligible institutions. And those are those institutions I mentioned earlier, those small to mid-sized universities, in minority servings, like 1890s, Hispanic servings, that are not among the most 100 for successful in getting federal grants, as well as EPSCoR states. So if you're a new investigator, you can apply for a seed grant. If you are at a phase or strengthening eligible institution, you can also apply for a seed grant. Those are the only groups that can apply for those. Thank you.
And maybe to clarify a little bit on the new investigator, you must be at least at most 5 years in your tenure track position, and you don't have a large federal grant award, and postdoc awards, fellowship awards don't count here. And you also should not have excessive publications. So under those categories, then you would be a new investigator. And as Erica said, you can be from any institution to apply for a seed grant, provided you are a new investigator.
We do have a question. Is the success rate for a new investigator standard grant higher versus a standard grant? So new investigators can also apply for standard grants, but there really isn't any difference between the success rate for the new investigators when they apply for standard grants versus any other professor that applies. It's probably more difficult for new investigators to get a standard grant just because they're competing with labs that have years and years of experience. Now, new investigators do have a much higher portion of the seed grants. So new investigators do quite well with the seed grants across the programs. It varies, but you know, the funding rate for seed grants is about 20 to 30%, depending on the program and the year. So there is no difference with the standard grants for new investigators, but new investigators would have a better shot at getting a seed grant in terms of likelihood of getting funded.
I think somebody asked if we can share the link for A1112. It's the same RFA for all the AFRI FAS opportunities, but we can share that link in the chat here shortly.
Yeah, I posted the link along with the page number in the chat, Emmanuel.
Oh, thanks, Jesse. Appreciate that.
Okay, I am not seeing any more additional questions in the chat, and Terry has noted that there's also no more hand raised. So with that, I think we are ready to conclude this portion of our webinar. So thank you all again for attending. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to your respective national program leaders on the AFRI program that you're interested. And we do look forward to receiving your application soon. Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.